Hi, good morning. This is Peter Preby from Freedom Marine in Vancouver, BC. And I should say beautiful Vancouver, BC. Right now we're just off the shore of West Vancouver. We got our local mountains in the background where you can ski all the way up until May, and you can boat here year-round as well. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. But more importantly, you need a boat. And there's a lot of choice out there. And when you're considering that choice, consider a Princess. Today, we're doing a little bit of a different photo shoot. We're doing a video, we're gonna do some walkthroughs, but I'm gonna show you what it's like to own and operate one of these from an owner standpoint, with your family, with your friends. And how easy is it to actually have one of these boats, drive one of these boats? Your visibility, the user friendliness of it, the machinery space, the access to compartments. This is what separates Princess from every other brand, I think, on the market. Not only are they extremely functional boats, easy to run, easy to own, but they're stunning. I mean, I don't know a boat that's got as clean and as crisp lines as Princess Yachts. Here we have a 2022 Princess V55, and today we're going to go through some of the things that make these boats great. At the heart of all boats is its electrical panel. It's the first thing you're going to come down, it's the first thing you're going to turn on, it's the last thing you're going to look at when you leave your boat. So what makes the Princess panels so beautiful and perfect in some ways is its simplicity. You have easy switches everywhere, clearly labeled domestic batteries, engine batteries, all your lights are here, your pumps, anything that's to start or stop anything on this boat is right in front of you. One of the simplest things to do is turn the generator on. Generator, start. All you gotta do is push and hold. The little green light that comes on, and there's a red light here that flashes, letting you know that it's preheating. And one of the only ways you really know what's on is when this green light goes solid, because it's just so quiet. Green light's on, I can release. Just give it a second here. I'm gonna take a little bit of load off the generator. Actually, it's just drawing about 6 amps just from fridges, so we can flip that over, turn off shore power, turn on generator. It's that easy. You can see your voltage comes up, your current comes up, everything's ready to go. So we got the generator running, we got the engine batteries on. Your display here is ignited, so you can see all your different engine-related items right in front of your oil pressures, your RPMs, engine temps, your charge on the batteries, and your percentage of load, which I like to watch, and then engine hours. Right here is a little panel. It's just a push start and push start. One of the things that's going to come up if we have dual stations is this station here right now is green and live and active. If I wanted to switch to our off station, there's a button at the back. I just push that and it's ready to go. Okay, so now we're back here at our aft station. One of the things here, right off the bat, just the beautiful finishing around the interior of this hatch. Everything you open and touch and feel is of great quality. Push a button here, this station is active now. I've got my thrusters on here, just by pushing those. And we give it a little test, she's good to go. A lot of boats do have aft stations, and generally in the cockpit or areas that are fairly convenient. One thing that Princess does in all their aft stations, and when you get on board the boats, you really got to pay attention to this, is your visibility. Can you look down the side? Can you look forward and actually see the end of the bow? Can you see your port side? Can you see your port side corner? When I stand here, I can look straight down the whole side of the boat. I can look over, I can look back. The visibility, especially when you're an owner-operator, is really important, and even if you're going to do it by yourself, which we'll be doing here today. As you can see, I can watch my bow, I can watch my stern, I can watch the side. And just give it very simple inputs in reverse at this moment to leave the dock. Okay, we've activated our station here now. Pretty simple, I just walked in from there, came here, away we go. So After I've been driving a lot of boats and being around all kinds of different brands in sales now for 18 years, I've had a chance to drive a huge variety of boats, not only boats I've owned, my parents, but just customers and purchasers. One of the things about the Princess Yachts that they work with a design firm called Olin Siskey is their hull designs. Ever since I've known the brand, they've always had extremely good seakeeping hulls, but they've just kept getting better and better. And one of the beauties of this boat and other models in this Princess line is you don't really need to put the tabs down to keep the bow down as you're coming on plane. I've had to do this a lot on a lot of different boats. You see right now, I got full tabs up. If I put them down right now, you'll see the little red dots starting to come down, obviously, so now I'm about halfway. But I am gonna bring them up, keep them in the up position, and I'm just gonna throttle up. And what I want you to see is how I don't lose the horizon. I don't have to stand up to try to see where I'm going. These boats are so well balanced. It's a straight shaft boat, not a V drive, not a pod drive. The engine's far enough forward, it keeps it a good balance while still maintaining beautiful layout accommodations, which we'll go through a little bit later. But have a look. And also just note how quiet and smooth and effortless the power of these Volvo D13s are. They're 1,000 horsepower aside. This is not an underpowered boat, but yet a very powerful, economical boat to run and own. All right, here we go. So we're approaching 1,500 RPM, which is usually the time when the bow starts coming up on most boats. 18 knots, 19 knots, effortless. Effortless power. 21 knots. Again, look at me, I'm not standing, I'm not doing anything. I can see. And out here in Vancouver, we've got lots of logs and lots of debris. It is so important to be able to see where you're going and what's directly ahead of you. This is 21 knots. We're only at 60% load. Let's throttle up a little bit more here. Let's do a little turn here out of this tide line that we got coming up, which I can see without even having to tab down. Usually there's a lot of little stuff in these things, so just get out of the way. Now we're doing 25 knots. Again, I can see, no tabs, nothing. I'm only doing 66% load right now. I know I'm kind of speaking a little bit louder just because I got the window open here and I can hear the water there, but I'm sure you can still hear me. But it's so quiet in here. So let's bump it up to like a 70% load, which is a very, still a very, not hurting the engine at all. You can see here we're 66. We'll bump it up a little bit more. Let's settle in around 70, 71% right now, doing 26 knots. I can still see. Now, I am going to lower the bow just a touch to increase my waterline length. And as you can see, that does nothing to the speed. Even lowering the bow down doesn't affect the performance of the boat. We're still doing 26.3 knots, which is what I was doing before I even touched the tabs. And now I can sit here for hours, see where I'm going, enjoy the view, and do it extremely comfortably. The steering is so responsive, it's feather light, effortless power, effortless steering. It's just incredible boats. You don't understand how great these things are until you're an owner of one of these. And that's my hope. I mean, every boat has a price point and a level, and you don't have to, just because it's 55 feet, doesn't mean you have to buy 55 feet. We have beautiful boats like the V50, or even the V40, and boats all around and in between, and bigger, of course. Just awesome. So, again, you're out using your boat, you want to anchor for the night, the day, the afternoon. Princess makes this really easy. They've got this remote here. They've got you can see your locker here. You can see your chain. You can see everything that you need to do. Also, just while we're here, let's note how thick and beautiful this hatch is. Nicely sealed, good hardware. Big, deep drains here, so when you're washing down the boat, the water doesn't go funneling down into your anchor locker. You've got a nice drain. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful spot. All right, let's let her go. Now I could do this from the helm as well, but for the purpose of right now, we'll just do it right here. Okay, I've let out the correct amount of chain for the depth and the conditions that we're in right now. Got a kind of a light breeze. But one of the beautiful things is, once I've done that, I can come right here, because the window goes down so low, and actually set my anchor. I can check it by going in reverse here, make sure I've got a good hold. I can see my chart plotter, my depth, everything here, quite simply. And then when I need to, I can go up and actually check it. Make sure I'm getting a nice tight angle on it. And while I'm here, I've got great walk around decks, nice high side rails. When I walk down the side, I've got 2 points to hold on to. Again, this is so critical for safety on so many Princess yachts. They have all this, but there's so many boats. Might have this, it might be lower, but you may not have this. And this is what stops you from generally falling over. So it's very, very safe and very nice to have this high rail here, which is at a good angle if you're a little shorter or taller, and then also to have your rail here and have a free and clear walkway when you're going up and down. Okay, so you've anchored. Again, very simple and nice to do on this boat. It's time to have some fun. You're out with your family, your friends, however you envision your day out on the water, but we want to put the dinghy in the water and go for a little boat ride, maybe do some tubing, some water skiing, or even just go to the beach. So let's see how easy this is to do with one person without getting wet and having a big ordeal it is to actually launch, and in this case, a beautiful Williams jet tender off the transom of this boat. Right here, we've got our 2 controls. Turn that on, turn that on. So again, one spot, no moving around anywhere. Now we're gonna lift the garage up. I don't have to move any cushions. I don't have to touch anything here. Again, making that experience as an owner as simple and as convenient as possible is, again, at the heart of these Princess yachts. This is open now. Again, there's no creaks, no chromes, no anything. And as we go down, you'll see how beautifully finished the whole interior box is, the garages and the hardware. So let's go down and have a closer look. Okay, so here you see we've got the garage open. You can just see how beautiful and nice this hardware is. All your nice wiring looms all tucked away, weather protected. Nice hardware here. You can see just how solid and great all this glasswork is. And then just inside, it's all finished with super high quality gel coat. All inside here is really nice and clean. You got your stanchions in here. If you have the sun awning out, for example, at the back of the boat, there's a big awning that comes out. If you need a little bit of extra support, they tuck in really nicely here. I could see having this boat and maybe putting some racks in here, just maybe for some extra water sports storage, maybe paddle boards, or all the tubes and stuff that people like to carry around. But as you can see, this Williams Sport Jet 345 fits beautifully in here. You could get in, you could move around. Looks like it's just been recently washed down, which is nice. And now next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna lower the swim platform, slide the dinghy out. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, we've got the garage open, check the dinghy, everything's good. We're gonna lower the swim platform. Okay, so one of the things with tender garages that's really important is, again, how easy it is actually to use. A lot of boats have them, but how easy are they to launch your tender by yourself without crew and 2 or 3 different people to maneuver, or standing in the water to pull the dinghy out? How easy is it? So on this one, we've got a remote here. There's a winch to the front. I'm gonna release the rope and I'm just gonna pull it out. you go. It is that easy. I still have a line attached. There is already a line on this boat from the current owner has actually let us use the boat for all these demonstration purposes. And he's got his life jacket and some stuff in there. But anyhow, you can see we're still attached. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this rope, I'm gonna bring it around this side, tie it off, and start it up. And you're good to go. So a lot of manufacturers talk about design and haul. Some avoid it altogether because they don't want to talk about it. But Princess has an amazing design team in the Olensinski brand. When you look at the front of the hull of this boat, you can see multiple strakes that rise up from the bow of the boat here. As you can tell, it would do an amazing job, and it does in rough water, to deflect water as you're going through it. Look at hull shape at the bow. It's one of the most important starts. It's where it all begins. That's where you cut through the water. That's where you take on big seas. If you can't initially break the water up, push it out of the way, all it's going to do is just come up, and you're going to have a great wet riding boat. Right at the front, they've already started with a great design. Now let's just look at the profile of this boat for a second and not think about hull shape and how everything's put together for a second, but just look at how beautiful this boat is. Just take a second. There's no weird angles. There's nothing about the boat that makes it think, I don't really like the way that line comes down through a window, or the hull windows, or the side profile windows, the curves everywhere, even just the use of color, that extra blue trim underneath the V55 symbol. It's just beautiful. You just want to own one. It doesn't matter what they cost, what it is, just aesthetically, I love it. And we haven't even got into what makes these boats even better. So as we come down the aft port quarter here, you can see how the railing drops all the way down the side, keeping the form of the boat. We've got this beautiful dual entry transom. No extra steps, nothing off about it. It's just, you can pour it on the port side or starboard side and feel very comfortable on either. Okay, well, now you've had a chance to see the boat from the outside. Let's go a little closer in and see what it's like to start systems. Again, at the heart of Princess is to try to make things user-friendly for owner-operators. These are not, in these sizes, especially here in Vancouver, we don't do a lot of crude boats. And so it's important that people can operate these boats by themselves, with their spouse, with their families, with their friends, and not feel like it's a chore to go out and use things and launch the tender and all this kind of stuff. So let's go a little bit closer and see what it's all about. So now you're all set up, you're anchored, and now you're ready kind of to enjoy your afternoon out. It's getting a little bit warmer. We've finally getting a little peek of sun out through the day. Let's open this boat up a little and see what it's like to have it open with the sunroof, with this, and just get a feel for what it'd be like to be on the water with your family and friends and have this all opened up and social. This is one of the neatest features. A lot of boats, this window kind of comes up, it's slow, it's mechanical, it doesn't look very good. This has an electric mechanism that totally hides the door, the frame, everything. Listen to how smooth that is, how cleanly it goes down, and relatively quick. Done. Open up this side, open this up, nice and smooth. Look at the hardware just to open up this window. It's beautiful. So on this Princess V55, and this has been a bit of a trend lately on a lot of boats, but kind of moving galleys from below and up. Princess does still offer a galley down on a V50, which is a spectacular boat they just redesigned and remodeled. And so you do have a nice galley down with a beautiful dinette, upper salon space. But on this boat, the 55, part of the beauty of this is what feels like one big kitchen and extending right into your outdoor space here. So with your cockpit grill, ice maker, big drawer fridge, lots of storage, obviously your cockpit station, but really extending your kitchen, your galley from inside all the way through the outside here. Some nice things here. This particular model has got a dishwasher as an option, and a really, a Miele dishwasher, a brand everybody recognizes. Very nice. Proper fridge. Beautiful drawer fridge and freezer. A Miele high-speed oven, convection style. Beautiful cooktop. I actually really like this white. It's nice and clean and kind of makes it look and blends in with the rest of your countertop space here. You got a big storage compartment here, great for actually veg and so on. Nice big sink with a reversible cutting board, as you see here. And as you're standing here, you do have nice ventilation here and a huge sunroof that, as you'll see in a minute, opens all the way up to here. Okay, so now we've kind of had a nice meal, we've been hanging out. Time to just sit back and maybe watch a movie or just enjoy the evening as it gets dark. It's one of the things in my family when we're out boating, no screen time until it's dark. So keep yourself busy. But it is nice to kind of relax in your salon or outside, which is something that's really cool with this boat, is you can watch it while you're inside or outside. Have a look. One touch, and the TV rises up here. Note how incredibly finished it is all around it. The woodwork, the finishing, the access, when you need to access the back of the TV, this just pops off. As you can see, it's beautiful. Nice curves everywhere. Now, if we're watching inside, we can watch inside. But if you just wanted to be out here, enjoy this beautiful L-shaped seat space here, big table, and then move into the back. You can see a bunch of people right along here and have movie night outside. Watch this. Yeah, decorative pillows. There we go. It actually stopped all on its own when it sensed a slight resistance. Look at that. Now you sit back, you're all outside, outdoor movie night. Okay, so we got this beautiful galley here, which you can cook, entertain, you can be part of the whole action. We've gone from outside dining, as you've seen, but sometimes it's nice just to come inside, close everything up, and eat inside. One of the things that Prince has done here, we've got this beautiful table base. It's a work of art almost on its own. It electrically will rise up and down, but when you're ready to eat, just look at that. Look at that piece of craftsmanship is incredible at this factory. Open that up. Open this up. Got a nice solid space here. Again, imagine like you're eating on this table. What's that like? You're cutting, it's solid. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and then maybe you bring in an extra deck chair, but very comfortably 5 adults. Maybe you throw some kids in there, and you've got 6 people that you can sit here and eat inside very comfortably. On boats, a lot of boats are now starting to come kind of stocked, or places where you can put dishes and cutlery and all those things. But when you open the things up or you look at them, it's done, it's there, but it's not done to maybe the level that you may expect when you spend $1, $2, $3, $8, $10 million on a boat or more. Princess has done this beautiful job of not only having proper size plates, bowls, even the little saucers for your coffee cups, but the way that these pieces are put in here and the spaces, it doesn't allow anything to shift or move. Obviously this owner's got some extra pieces, but even the cups, it's got a leather base to this. So they sit in there nice. They don't rattle around. That's all nice. And even just this hardware and the craftsmanship, and then it all tucks away. And then you move over here. Again, a lot of boats will have maybe your cutlery kind of stacked up in a little row, but here you've got nice open spaces to really separate your pieces, or maybe combine some stuff and have extra storage. But everything, again, is just really nicely put away. Okay, one of the things that all the V-Class models and all the S-Class models have are retractable sunroofs in your salon space. What makes these unique are the fact that you've got 3 independent windows here to let in your light, but you've got built-in blinds because some days the sun is just too much. You can open and close that. And just take a second to look at every surface around here is finished beautifully. The glass is in here beautifully. The inside here is finished with the same material that your roof is. Just the craftsmanship and the quality is stunning on its own. But watch how this opens. Listen to it. There's nothing that makes any weird sounds. It's got a nice, smooth entry. And when we go up, when we finish opening this, you'll have a look. It actually goes into its own case. It's not exposed when it's open, keeping the line of the boat continuous on the outside, like it's flawlessly, like you wouldn't even know it's open from the outside. When it's open, you have just all this space open now. And when you look around, everything is finished. That paint finish quality is inside. When you look at the roof here, it's all finished the same. It's got a beautiful seal. Even just look inside, it's all finished. And it's smooth and it's clean. It's just so well done.